Well, we are back with another long-awaited travel episode.
It's been too long since we've done this.
Honestly, I feel like with the amount people are traveling these days and just with the amount we're traveling these days, I feel like it should be an annual tradition to do just an all things travel episode on the podcast.
I agree.
Everyone, today we are joined by Alexandra Stockton. She's our travel advisor. She's fabulous. But before we're going to cut to that interview, which was recorded at a different time, Chan and I just wanted to come on the pod and chat about travel in general. People wanted to know about our airport style, what we're packing. So Chandler, what are you wearing to the airport? What is your airport style philosophy?
I basically wear the same thing every time I travel. I wear Lululemon Align leggings. I wear higher crew socks. And I will wear I love a Skims boyfriend tee and a sweatshirt. It's not that hot, but I always prioritize comfort. I don't care about looking hot at the airport. I just want to feel comfortable. What I will say is I also get really cold on planes.
Yeah.
So I have to bring a sweatshirt. Sorry if you were expecting like something more fashionable. I can't deliver that with this particular question.
Okay. So you're going for pure comfort.
Yeah. Comfort City. I mean, I'm usually sitting in 38J. So
yeah, I think that plays into it. Like if you have a really nice flight and you're flying business or first, I feel like dressing well is part of the experience on some level. But if you're more like, back in 24C, sometimes it's just like, what's the point?
Lauren, I think 24C might even be Comfort Plus still. You're really out of touch. But yeah, no, I agree. I think like on this most recent flight I took, I had to like accidentally like elbow my neighbor in order to get my seatbelt. So if I'm dealing with that, I just want to be as comfortable as possible. I don't want to wear a pair of jeans. I think people who wear jeans on planes are murderers and sociopaths.
I think there's something deeply, deeply wrong with those people.
Yeah.
I completely agree. My philosophy, I personally prefer to be put together. And I'll tell you why. I feel like if I am not put together for a flight, and by the way, this is only going somewhere. Coming home, it's full Comfort City, it's DGAF. When I'm done with a trip, it's sweats, it's whatever I want. But going to a trip is part of the experience for me. And so I like to feel like I look really cute and I like to look really cute in the lounge. And I just enjoy like getting ready for the airport. I usually, if I'm going to New York, I'm going straight to dinner. So I have somewhere to go after. And so I feel like dressing up just like completely changes the experience. And you can get clothing that like feels really comfortable that is also like put together.
Yeah, I think like honestly, you're just taking better flights than I am. And I think that's where this kind of begins and ends. Like I'm usually taking like an early flight or a late flight. If I'm waking up at 4 a.m. and I have to go to the airport, I'm not putting on a pair of jeans or a cute outfit. I'm not putting on any makeup or anything. But I think typically, and I think it's okay here for this discrepancy in lifestyles to show, you're just taking more enjoyable flights than I am.
I mean, I will tell you, Kagan and I flew economy to the Cayman Islands because he was getting stem cells.
I mean, was that like a 40-minute flight?
No, it was 2 flights with an hour layover in Miami. It was a 7-hour journey. And I still got up. Maybe because I was with Kagan, but I got up. I got cute looking. I knew we'd go to the lounge. And I don't know. I like to feel good on a flight. Maybe I'm just more vain than you. Could that be
we already know that's true. We already know. Let's move on to the next question. What's the next one?
We're going too long.
Hit me.
Okay, what is your packing philosophy? Are you putting everything in a carry-on or are you checking a bag?
God, no. I mean, I'm 99% of the time checking a bag, of course.
Okay. Carry-on as well or just a checked bag?
Both, baby.
Okay.
Well, not every single time. I have the Delta Gold card and you get a free checked bag. If I have a free checked bag and my trip is over 3 days, I'm taking a checked bag. I might, I guess, not be taking a carry-on because it is kind of annoying to have to like put it up above. But I am bringing options. And a lot of the times I want to have space to bring stuff home.
Yeah, that's true. Do you ever do the thing, because this is what I do a lot, I will put everything I truly need that I can't live without. Good stuff goes in the carry-on. And then the bulk goes in a check bag. That way, if we lose the check bag, I'm not SOL. Like I can still take my trip with pleasure.
Right.
And just stop and grab some pajamas and like toiletries and the things that were in the check bag.
Yeah, no, I've done that before. And I would say I typically put my most valuable things in my carry-on. Speaking of luggage, what luggage are you bringing? We're still bays girlies, right?
Yeah, I'm a base girly. I mean, I want to be a Ramoa girly, obviously, or I want to get those cute July bags.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like always the last thing that I want to spend money on is
Right.
luggage.
Yeah. It's like, it's really such a single use item, not single use, but single time usage. That's like why I
Hmm.
like to buy nice sunglasses because I'm like, I can get so much mileage out of this.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Where it's like also your stuff just gets so banged up, which is why the
Mm-hmm.
Ramoa suitcases are so cute because I feel like they look good with like some
Yeah.
character. But I
Right.
also am just like, really? Do I want to spend $2,500 on a
Dumb.
carry-on?
Dumb.
No, stupid. Especially when there's so many cute options that are $200 to $300.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
what's the point? It's just a
Yeah.
flex. I don't know. I probably will get it someday though. So I'll eat my words. I'm sure at some point. Okay. Here's the key question. Are you
Mm-hmm.
carrying a backpack or a tote?
I'm carrying a tote. I think a backpack makes me feel like a child.
Mm. This is where we really, our two roads diverge in a wood, Chandler,
Mm.
because I am taking a backpack. But
You're gonna wear a backpack with like a cute outfit?
no, I'm wearing a handbag, okay? And then I have my backpack on my carry on. So it's just part of my pulled carry on. And the
Sure.
backpack is the Dagny Dover one. So it just looks like a black, sleek, pulled
I
experience
mean, it still looks
next
like a
to the cute
backpack.
outfit.
Still
Sure,
looks
but
like a
it's not,
backpack.
usually it's not on the shoulders.
That's good to know. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's just like a lot of luggage for me. And then it's like, well, what should I put with me at my seat? Which do I stow up above?
Crucial questions. Wait, so this is my question for all the tote girlies though. Like, does that hurt your shoulder? Like, I have a laptop to put on in my bag. I have a camera. I usually have a film
Yeah.
camera with film. I have a lot of crap.
No, I hear you. I try to put my laptop actually in my carry-on suitcase unless I'm going to be working on the plane. And I actually just got a laptop recently that's a lot lighter, which
Mm.
is really nice, but it does hurt my shoulder. I won't lie to you. I just backpacks can be heavy though too. There's something about a backpack that is it's not worth the look for me.
Okay, so you're vainer than me on this subject.
Mhm.
Okay,
Completely.
your biggest travel hack, I'll go first because it's top of mind.
Mhm.
Everyone, get an American Express Platinum.
Well, you stole mine.
Okay, so it's fine because it is the travel hack.
It's the travel
Get a
hack.
platinum card and get access to the lounge. So it's $700 a year, which is expensive, but with all the
Mhm.
perks, I think it pays for itself. You get clear, you get TSA pre-check probably credited.
Yeah.
So many things.
There's a lot of things that you like get credit for. There's definitely a lot of perks with this. You get like a hotel credit. I mean, I'm not going to bore everyone with credit card perks, but
Yeah.
getting the American Express Platinum has single handedly made my flying experience 10 times better because
Yeah.
something I constantly struggle with and just hate is dealing with food before a flight because typically I'm not taking super short flights. At any given time, I'm probably on at least a 5 hour flight, either flying from like the East Coast to the West Coast or whatever. And if I eat something at my house before I go, I'm still going to be like quite hungry. And I hate airport food. Airport food is so gross. It's terrible. It's so overpriced. And the having lounge access through my American Express has made eating at the airport a little bit less miserable. I'm not saying it's amazing, but it's a lot better.
I feel like for me, when I'm in the airport or when I'm on the flight, food that for me would be mediocre in my living room is suddenly way better. So I
Yes.
personally feel like I kind of love plain food, like the good plain
Ew.
food. I put in quotes. I honestly do. I love the bread and the cold butter with the salt. I mean, maybe
Wait,
you
wait,
just
wait,
haven't
wait.
had the
Like, because you're getting like a meal on your flight.
yeah.
See,
I'm getting I'm getting a meal.
I'm taking a Delta flight from New York to Los Angeles. I'm not getting a meal on that flight.
No, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about travel, food in general. Like
Okay.
if you're on a
Okay.
transatlantic flight and you're in
Yeah.
business, I love the food. I think the food and the champagne, it just like it adds to the experience. It's super fun.
Well,
And I think it's delicious. Even though I know
I'm
it's like
never
actually not.
I'm never flying business on a transatlantic flight. That's not in my realm of possibility at this moment. But
Okay, so I'm just telling you all about it.
I know. I know. I'm just saying like we're comparing apples and oranges. What I will say though, for people who are still flying coach like me, who are still in 38J, it is worth it to get the American Express Platinum and pay the annual fee because you will save so much money on airport food. Because I can guarantee
Mm.
if I'm buying a meal in the airport, it's going to be $40. for two people. It's going to be at least
Yeah.
$40. It's so and if you're buying snacks, all of that stuff is super overpriced. But if you can get lounge access, then all of those meals and snacks are free.
Not only are they free, but this is kind of where I was going. I think the food in the lounge, you're right, it's not Michelin star, but it is good for what it is. And it tastes like kind of
Yes.
healthy and home cooked. And
Yeah.
it's free. Also, it's like actual plates and cutlery. You're going to be able to
Hmm.
have some champagne or Prosecco.
Right.
So I think getting lounge access will completely change anyone's experience. I fly economy all the time, of course. Domestic, mostly I'm in economy. But for me, like if I know I can hit a lounge before that flight,
Yes.
like that's why I'm kind of dressing up a little. That's why I'm enjoying the travel experience because it is so nice.
I love it. I love that you dress up for the lounge. It's very like people used to dress up for flights like in the 60s, in the 70s. Like that's kind of what you're giving. And I love it.
I mean, please don't insult me. I don't dress up for any lounge. Okay. So it has to be like a really good one. Okay. So I always look up the lounge. I'm pretty hot for a good lounge.
I know that's true. Okay. What's
Okay.
next?
That's it. I think we should cut to our interview with Alexandra.
Okay. Let's do it.
I'm so excited for everyone to listen to this interview. We get into why everyone should use a travel advisor. Just to cut to the chase, it's free, everyone. This is not a sponsored episode for Alexandra. So I just want you to know that the information is useful for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And then when is the best time to book a hotel? Vacation destinations that are overhyped and overcrowded. Chandler, we get into where to travel if you're looking for a sugar daddy, which I know is something you are really interested in.
Literally before I met Ben, that was something I was searching high and low, an answer I was searching high and low for.
We have where are some of the best honeymoon locations for the best vacations in the United States, and all sorts of good information. This is the travel essentially week. So we do have 2 episodes. We have this episode, which is just general travel Q&A with Alexandra, me and Chan. And then we have a full hour episode where Alexandra and I go into everything you need to know to travel to St. Bart's. So it's a fabulous week here at Pop Apologists. Enjoy the episode and we love you guys.
Love you. It's a perfect way to kick off summer. So enjoy.
Before we move on, Chandler, can we discuss the gorgeousness that is Clean Simple Eats protein powder, my favorite protein powder on God's green earth?
Lauren, this protein powder is the one we have been drinking since college, since the days where, we shared a little apartment. And just like our love for each other, we don't plan on stopping loving Clean Simple Eats anytime soon.
Here's the deal, everyone. Someone messaged me. They're like, no, really, is Clean Simple Eats that good? Like, is it good? Or are you just BSing us? I swear on my unborn child's life that Clean Simple Eats is truly delicious. Okay, I don't even care about the ingredient quality, but their ingredients are clean and grass-fed.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly to me, it tastes like a Frosty, a Wendy's Frosty, but it's a gorgeous protein drink.
I mean, I don't even think about the taste of it, if that makes sense. Like the taste is so perfect and delicious and consistent that I don't even like think about the taste. Like it's just like, oh, I know this is going to be good.
It's a treat.
It's a treat. It's wonderful. It's 20 grams of protein per scoop, 110 calories. We love it. Our favorite flavors are the Simply Vanilla and the chocolate brownie batter, as well as the mint chocolate. I think you love, Lauren.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the mint chocolate. It tastes like a thin mint frosty. Just blend it with ice and water or maybe a little milk. You guys go to cleansimpleeats.com. Use code POPAPOLOGIST for 10% off. Truly, it's my secret weapon to getting enough protein and feeling amazing. And it tastes delicious.
Pop Apologists, 10% off.
Well. We are here today joined by our favorite travel advisor, travel expert, really the woman who knows everything about luxury travel, Alexandra Stockton, our travel advisor. Thank you so much for joining us, Alexandra.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I'm so excited.
Oh, of course. People loved our episode and I got so many messages when I put on Instagram that you're coming. They're like, I'm so excited. I have hundreds of questions. We probably can't get to even a portion of them, but we're going to do our best. But before we get there, Chandler and I need to share with our listeners why they need to book with a travel advisor and what a travel advisor is. And so, Alexandra, can you share, what a travel advisor is, how you got into doing it, your favorite parts about being a travel advisor, all the things our listeners need to know?
Yeah, of course. So I started out as an event and wedding planner, and then I decided to start a travel business in 2016. So it's been almost 10 years, I guess, or
Amazing.
about 8,
Wow.
so which is crazy. But basically, a travel advisor, I think most people are thinking of like old school travel agents, like you imagine like a strip mall in a building and like an old lady with a headset who's just like booking your flights or booking you a cruise, but it's definitely developed into a different industry. And it's a really big industry right now. It's growing, which also surprises people, but I think people are really overwhelmed by everything on the internet. So, a travel advisor basically can help you narrow down a destination, help you find the right hotels because there are so many good hotels and not so good, but we can basically make sure that you are paired with the right fit for you because what is considered the perfect hotel in a luxury hotel to one person is another person's nightmare.
Mm.
So that's a big part of it. We also can basically plan everything start to finish. So some of our clients are just having us book hotels because our clients do get perks and special amenities and like daily breakfast for two, like $100 resort credit. We also are always requesting upgrades for our clients, and our clients will receive first priority upgrades above like American Express and definitely
Amazing.
booking yourself or booking on an online travel agency like Expedia. And part of my job is to travel the world and meet with the GMs and sales reps and develop relationships with these people. So basically, I can text them and say, hey, we have clients coming. We want to make sure they're really taken care of. And they kind of go above and beyond. And so you're not just an anonymous hotel guest, which is huge. So some people just they already know where they want to go, they already know where they want to stay, and they're just reaching out to us to book them hotels. And then some of our clients want guidance, want us to advise them on an itinerary. And then we also have clients who are having us handle everything start to finish. So those are our concierge clients. And for them, like we're planning basically like wheels up to wheels down when you get back, like every tour, every transfer, every meal, every beach club, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit. It's a lot of work to plan all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's basically what we do. And it looks a little different for every client, but the aim is to kind of work with someone long term. So we get to know what you like and it becomes a easy relationship.
I think one of the things that people might not realize, and I really should have, maybe I'll do an intro to our intro. So I dropped this in, but one, this episode is not sponsored. So Alexandra is
Yeah.
not paid to come on the show. It might sound like this is just a big sponsored episode and a big commercial, but two things are happening right now. One, we asked Alexandra to come on. This is in no way sponsored whatsoever. Two, Alexandra's services are for the most part free to use. And this, so you don't pay any difference between what you're paying online on booking.com or wherever you're booking to have Alexandra with all the perks, getting that upgrade, getting, having her tell the hotel that it's your birthday rather than like calling yourself because God knows your husband's not going to. Alexandra will do it for you. And yeah, you get all those perks. You get her advice, you get her expertise, and literally, it does not cost anything extra. It's amazing. It's unbelievable.
Thank you, Lauren. That was a great point. Yeah, basically, when you look online, what the hotel rates are is what you're going to be paying with us. And then sometimes we actually get unpublished deals. But as a baseline, what you're seeing online is what you would be paying through us, and you'll be charged directly through the hotel, but you'll get the perks on top of it.
Yeah, I feel like personally, and I know Chandler feels this way as well, when we're looking to book a trip for us, we really like it's an investment for us. It's something we really look forward to, and to have it be a disappointment, have it be something that's not as great as we wanted it to be. It's so funny. It's almost like you don't want to book one of these things without talking to a travel advisor. Like
Mhm.
I don't understand how people book expensive vacations without getting some expertise. Well, I'll just say, for example, I went to India and we stayed at Almambag. And one of the worst hotels I've ever stayed at, I would say. It was actually fine. It's fine. It's not one of the worst hotels I've ever stayed at. That's dramatic. But it is, it was just like, did not live up to my expectations at all. There was like no AC in the rooms. The mattresses were hard as rocks. And guess what I did when I booked that? I failed to consult with Alexandra, who I'm sure would have warned me. And yeah, there's just other hotels like the Dorado Ritz-Carlton, so expensive. Usually is going for about $2,000 or more a night. My husband and I got a deal. We went for one night. And I was like, wow, if I ever came here and was paying the full price, I would be so disappointed. This is just like an upscale Marriott, in my opinion. It doesn't have that like pristine Belmont feel. Anyway, I know it's all very privileged, it's all very snobby, but when you're paying a lot for a certain experience, you really do want to get what you want. And so again, I texted Alexandra and I was like, can you believe the Dorado Ritz and what they charge for it? And you're like, yeah, I only really recommend that to people who money is no object for them. And for them, they don't even look at the total, which is not the position in life I'm in. So anyway, just 2 stories of major fails, not consulting Alexandra first.
Also, I just want to add, I think that we need Alexandra more than ever in this day and age, in this year of our Lord 2024, because there is so much travel information out there, and it almost gives you like
So
a
much.
false sense of, oh, I can plan this trip by myself. I can just go on TikTok and search, Mallorca, and I'll figure out exactly what I need to do. But there's like too much information from too many different authors about their experience, and you just can't trust it all. I mean, for example, I went to when we were in Portugal when we got engaged, we went to these like sea pools. And anyway, it was a total tourist trap, but on all the TikToks, it looked amazing. And, it's so hard to sift through Reddit, TikToks, and then just literally Google reviews and everything and know what actually is good enough. And so having a person that like knows your tastes, knows what you expect, knows how much you want to spend, like a real person that like gets you in that way and then can like filter for you is so important. So anyway, we need you more than ever. We need this episode more than ever.
The TikToks can really burn you.
Yes.
And Instagram posts, because I think like creators will like wait hours until no one's there. There's like a 30-second window when no one's around, but like little do you know, they've been waiting there for 6 hours to capture that snippet.
Right.
And you never know what's sponsored and not sponsored. It's all very murky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's murky. I feel like also it's interesting. I'll look at reviews for certain hotels I think are sublime. And then I will see a 1-star review from someone like Capjoluca in Anguilla, which is my favorite hotel on earth. And I consider it to be pristine heaven. And someone's like, it's too boring. There's not a vibe. There's not that energy. And I like love the low key chill vibe of it. And so I think that's another piece where like someone might write a bad review, but like you actually might love it. And again, I think that's having a travel advisor, someone who knows your tastes and preferences, who you can continually consult, before you take, Mark from Wisconsin's bad review and skip the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, someone
Anyway.
who shouldn't have been staying there to begin with.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
If they worked with me, I wouldn't have put them there to start with. They would have been on St. Bart's.
Yes,
there's a vibe.
precisely. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's do some general questions from people. So the first is, this is how do you find good recommendations for places that are not top tourist destinations? I'm assuming it's talk to a travel advisor is the answer.
Yeah. Honestly, there is a real lack of information on the internet for those kinds of places. And again, like we just talked about, it's really hard to trust everything on the internet. When you're working with an advisor, if there's an area that we personally maybe haven't been to or don't know super well, the good news is we have a ton of contacts on the ground and we can give them a call, shoot them a text. I was just on a phone call right before this with someone about a destination, getting just like the nitty gritty from people who live there, who have great taste, who I trust, and can help me figure out the logistics and the best recommendations for clients based on what the client is interested in. So yeah, I hate to say that, but honestly, unless you yourself have contacts everywhere, like working with an advisor is the way to go.
Yeah, and again, there's no cost to do it. It's just crazy I can understand why it's like a booming industry and why it's getting bigger, because it's crazy that everyone doesn't do this, that everyone's like first stop, or just this isn't totally normalized yet. Okay, another question. Best last minute travel ideas slash deals for Europe in the summer. So if let's say you're traveling to Europe last minute, where do you recommend going? Or do you recommend staying home?
No, I mean, we can usually make it work. It depends a bit every year, just kind of like what's trending. This year, there's still a lot of last minute availability in Greece, actually. So lots of different areas in Greece. We can still get people in even for June and July. Some parts of Spain, some parts of northern Italy, like the Dolomites. That's an area
Amazing.
that is, not as popular with American tourists. And let's be honest, American tourists are the ones that are kind of taking up space most places. You can even get last minute spots in Portugal. I'm actually going to Germany and Austria. No, I guess it's later this month. That's a great spot where you're going to have great weather late in the summer. And we can usually find availability, but it really kind of depends on what the client's wanting. But we can generally find somewhere to squeeze them in.
We had a separate question that's relevant. Someone says, is Greece worth it? Feels like a no for me.
That's really hard, just because some people are absolutely in love with Greece. Some people, it's like not their vibe. It's going to be generally like more relaxed. Most islands don't have like the white sandy beaches like you imagine in the Caribbean, but there's gorgeous waters. It's not quite as easy to travel between islands as some people imagine too, which makes it a little tougher. I mean, we can do it and it works, but I think some people imagine like you take like a 10-minute boat ride between islands.
Right.
But if you're into beautiful water, beautiful food, wonderful people, I think it's a great spot. And there are places that are more geared towards tourists like Santorini, but then there are places that are a little lesser known. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for, but it's not a fit for everyone, but I think it's kind of a hit for a reason.
I have a question about Greece, real quick,
Yeah.
quick follow-up. I feel like I heard that Greece was pretty like affordable, or it could be economical to get like a great experience. Do you think that's still true, or do you think that was sort of a fad from a couple of years ago?
No, I think that's definitely true on some of the lesser known islands. Crete is a huge island, but you can still find great deals there. And there's a ton to explore there. Santorini, Mykonos, you're going to pay a higher price, but there's also a reason why there's a higher price. Like if you're wanting a great party, great beaches, Mykonos is the way to go. And then Santorini, obviously, like it's just iconic, like the white buildings, like some of the most incredible sunset views you're going to get, but you're going to pay a higher price there. But you can definitely still get deals for sure.
Okay.
I remember I went to Hotel San Antonio in Greece, and I think we paid 450, 500 a night. I think that hotel is like, it's on a cliff. It's completely, if the charges were 1,000 a night, I wouldn't have batted an eyelash. I would have been like, yeah, this is what something this quality costs. So I don't know if it's the same price. I think it is. My friend recently went, and I think she said it is still a deal. So yeah, I would agree as well that like there are major deals to be had in Greece, and I love Greece. I think the food is so fresh. The views, especially in Santorini, are breathtaking. It's just spectacular. It's really a special place. So you got to go. It's definitely not a no for this person. Oh, I know who this person is. Okay, this person is very fancy. She said another thing. She said, I love Alexandra. Thank you so much for introducing us. Anyway.
Aww. No, we have so many amazing pop apologist clients now. Like we love you guys. We
I love it.
want to keep helping you.
I mean, one of my really good friends is currently on an Italian trip he planned. So her Italian honeymoon.
Yep, we were texting with him this morning.
Oh my gosh, incredible.
But I will say, so Greece, if you're super, super fancy,
Yeah,
there are a handful of hotels that we want to put you at.
Right. This is so funny because, and it reminds me, there are people with much higher standards than me. And when I got our beautiful travel itinerary, if you book with Alexandra, there's an app that you download, and then all of your flight information, beautiful photos of the hotel. Your entire itinerary is in this gorgeous digital experience on your phone. All the information organized in one place. Anyway, I remember on it because we stayed at Le Sereno in St. Bart's. And I remember it said some information, Le Sereno is showing some wear and tear at this time. And I got there and I was like, did they build this yesterday? I mean, like, it looked
Yeah.
so nice and new to me. Anyway, it's just a humbling moment that, like, I think I know what good shit is, but maybe I'm not quite at the level, as Bethany Frankel would say.
Well, I like to make sure there are no surprises for clients. So if anything, I'm like, this hotel is terrible. You do not want to go there. So then when you get there, you're like, oh, this is great.
Oh
But yeah, I
so
try
funny.
to lower expectations just in case.
No, I think it's so funny and it's honestly it's perfect because there's nothing worse than again being in a place where you are spending like this is your trip that you're going to take that year.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, this kind of like sucks. By the way, if you're looking at a last minute travel for summer, I would highly recommend the Caribbean, not in August or
Same.
September, but you can get, I mean, Alex, take it away as to, how you feel about the Caribbean in summer.
Yeah, so people really shy away from it because it is technically hurricane season. But like you said, like you are there, usually like June, July, end of October, May is also a great time. Like you're usually going to have great weather. If anything, like you might have some quick showers in the afternoon, but the prices are low. I personally love it because I love getting in the ocean and the water is actually warm. So there's nothing worse to me than cold water. So like I could just lay on a float all day and I love that the water is warm. It's super hot outside. So you like love getting in the pool in the ocean. And the deals are great. St. Bart's, it's an amazing time to go. Like the rates are excellent. And it used to be where the island would be kind of dead in summer, but it's definitely
Oh, is
gotten
it
more
picking
popular.
up in summer?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, I feel like the Caribbean is really 50% off in those months. You want to avoid August and September and first half of October probably. But yeah, like I mean, we're going to Anguilla the last weekend of October. I'm so excited. It's the best. And the weather, I personally think living in Puerto Rico, so I live in the Caribbean, it's a little warmer, but that's it. Like it's not like it's bad weather.
Right.
So it's not like it's honestly not drastically different at all.
Okay, I have a follow-up question to what you just said, Alexandra, about, loving to swim in the ocean. I'm the exact same way. Swimming is a huge part of any vacation. If I'm taking a vacation, there needs to be swimming of some sort. It's actually a continued conversation, I'll say, between Ben and I because it's not as important to him. And that's really hard for me. So, for example, we're going on a trip, later on this year, and I'm like, well, the first part of the trip is going to be Barcelona for a wedding. And I'm like, well, we need to go somewhere I can swim after. Like the beaches in Barcelona, I think are great in Spain, but there's beaches in Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
There are. Yeah, it is on a beach.
I'm like, it's on the coast. But anyway, I'm not going there for the swimming. Anyway, I would love to hear from your, world traveler experience, like your favorite places to swim, like get in the water, actually like swim around.
Such a good question.
Not freezing water. Like even I was wondering about Greece, like the water is beautiful. There's not white sand beaches, but is it comfortable to swim? That's really everything to me is like, where can I go and swim?
If you're an ocean person and you're going to Europe, you want to go at the end of summer for sure.
Okay.
Like think about it as like a Georgia or Alabama or Florida beach if you're from the South, a North Florida beach. Like it might be warm, but the water's still pretty cool. So like September is great. Like the water has been warmed up all summer. Yeah. I know we talked about going to Mallorca possibly. Mallorca is harder to access water unless you're from a boat. Like they don't have beaches.
Okay.
So it's definitely important to do like a boat day if you're wanting to get in the water. Yeah. But Menorca, which is a less popular island, has a ton of amazing beaches. It takes like 40 minutes to drive from one side to the next. So you'd rent a car. You can go to different beaches every day. You can also rent your own like little dinghy to take around the island and visit different beaches. Also, like look at a map. You want to get closer to the equator.
Yeah, right.
So like some people think like all coastal destinations in Europe are the same. Like take a look at that. That will help you see like where the water is warmer.
Yeah.
Greece, like the water would still be great, but Menorca might be the spot for you.
Okay, this is good to know. Yeah. It's so important to like, you know, you really got to find the right type of beach where you can like wade in comfortably, because I didn't know that about Mallorca. I thought there were like go lay out a towel, lay on nice sand, and you can get in the water. I didn't know that it was like kind of mostly by boat access.
There are some. There's a great national park in the southern area that has some really beautiful beaches, but
Okay.
it's definitely like Menorca is very beach heavy.
Yeah. It's not like go out from your hotel room, walk 10 minutes, you're at the beach, which is
No.
kind of what I need in a vacation, frankly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That is harder in Europe in general.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
you need to just go to the
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Well, but I mean, I loved like when we were in Portugal, at least when we were in Madeira, like there was water. Well, I guess when I say a beach, there wasn't like necessarily sand where we were staying, but you could like jump in the water like outside of the hotel, and it was lovely. It's mainly about, I think, water temperature for me.
What time
But
of year was that, Chan?
it was late August.
I'm so terrified of my Italy trip, which we'll talk about later, but I'm going in late June. And I know it's not going to be, it's not the Caribbean, it's a different part of the world, but I'm
Mhm.
like terrified I'm going to like hate this experience on some level because it's like the water is going to be so frigid in late June.
It might be chilly, but it's also not about the water there. It's
Right.
the views and the vibes.
And it's hot. And it's like,
it's
it's
gonna be
quite hot there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think end of June is like when it starts getting really warm. And like you might be able to swim. It just kind of depends on your personal.
Right.
Yeah. And honestly, like I've had amazing swimming experiences like in the south of France, like in July, where it's like it's rocky, but the water is lovely to swim in. You know, you might be
Yeah.
like, it might not be white sand beaches, but it's still like a great swimming experience. Anyway, thank you for letting me,
Okay.
you know, wax poetic about swimming.
Yeah, not every listener is a fish like me and Chandler. So let's move on to a more general question. Someone wants to know, when is the best time to book hotel rooms? Price wise, does it even matter anymore?
If you're price sensitive, we want to book you as far out as possible.
Really? That's still how it works.
Yeah. So we can get you basically the least expensive rooms at the nicest hotels. And those are those in specialty suites are the ones that sell out first. So it might not even be that the rates are going to be cheaper. It's just like those less expensive rooms are available.
Oh,
So
yeah,
for
that's
Europe,
smart.
for the next year, they usually release rates like end of October, November. So if you're wanting to do a Europe trip for next year and you're wanting a coastal destination, I say like reach out like beginning of November.
Okay.
So we can
So
get
like
those
in
booked.
winter, as
Yeah,
winter starts, you want to have summer getting booked.
Yeah. For instance, like for my trips this year, I was booking in January because I am also looking for less expensive rooms at the nicest hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, someone wants to know destinations to avoid that are too crowded, overhyped. Anything that you're like people go all the time and maybe are disappointed by, or you just think is overrated. She's afraid.
It's okay to name names. It's okay
afraid.
it's okay to name names.
It's not that people are disappointed, but Italy is very, very crowded in the summer.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Because a lot of the destinations within Italy, like Amalfi Coast or Portofino or Lake Como, they're really only up and running from April to October.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of people that flock there, but there's a reason so many people flock there. It's lovely. It's incredible. It's picturesque, but it is crowded.
Yeah, I'm panicked. I'm panicking. I don't know why my friend decided to get married in late June in Italy, but you know,
How dare she?
I know, for real. Okay, this is an interesting question. What influencers do you follow for travel ideas? Are there any influencers that do great trips that you'd recommend following?
Oh gosh. I'm usually following people for more like fashion and interior stuff. And then if they have great taste, like I'm obviously paying attention to where they're going. Like Lauren Santo Domingo, love following her. I think it's Lily Sisto. She's like a fashion girl. She's always traveling. I can't really think of anyone that I'm following like specifically for travel. I know that's like a terrible answer, but it's just because I do it every day. That's also like not what I'm necessarily wanting to seek out when I'm scrolling. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, this is something you're going to know immediately. And I'm sure you've already given advice on before. Someone wants to know best place to go for a single female traveler to pick up a sugar daddy.
Oh God.
Specific request.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that.
I
But someone did
mean,
ask that.
California, Beverly Hills Hotel,
Newport Beach.
Yeah, Newport
Steakhouse.
Beach.
Go to Mastro's in Newport Beach. Sit at the bar on a Thursday night when the wives aren't there, bitches.
But honestly, like California. Or any like nice hotel bar.
Yeah.
Or
Really?
Monaco during like the Monaco Grand Prix or Yacht Week.
Oh my gosh.
This should be like a tab on your site.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I'll brainstorm
sugar babies.
on that. So I'll be extra ready. I mean, even like St. Bart's over the holidays. But you might need a sugar daddy to get you there
Right.
for that trip if you're staying over New Year's.
To find your up-leveled sugar daddy.
Yeah. To find your yacht guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, so funny. Okay, let me see here. Someone wants to know, this is specific. Someone wants to know Aruba versus Grand Cayman for a honeymoon.
Grand Cayman.
Grand Cayman. Okay. I went to the Cayman Islands for Kagan got stem cells, and I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as other Caribbean islands.
I mean, no offense, Lauren, but didn't you stay at like a Holiday Inn?
That's a
No
great
offense.
point. We stayed at like a very cheap hotel because it was just a medical trip. But I like went to dinner. I got dinner at the hotel I wanted to go to, which is Palm Heights. And that place I did not think was like worth the price at all. Just having like gotten dinner there and seen the vibe and like the hotel.
People are obsessed with Palm Heights though.
I don't get it because I feel like to me, it feels like a worn down Instagram hotel with like no private beach. Like you're just in the middle.
If you're giving me a choice between those two, I'm saying Grand Cayman.
Right.
I'm probably going to choose somewhere else for you if you're open. Aruba, the hotels are like Marriott and Hyatts.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the food scene is pretty good, honestly, on both islands.
Question for you about honeymooning. If you want to go somewhere, like where would be your top 5 honeymoon recommendations? If you just want to relax, if you want to decompress from throwing a wedding.
Depends a bit on time of year, but I think Caribbean, always. We send lots of honeymooners now who are really looking for low key to Guana Island, which I know we've talked about at excess. Anywhere in the Caribbean, Anguilla, Cap Juluca is a really popular spot. And if they want like some nightlife, we'll combine it with St. Bart's for part of the trip.
Yeah.
Mexico has some really incredible places, especially on the West Coast, that are great for just really having a chill time.
Yeah.
And they're easy to get to. I think one of the most stressful things is when you've just finished this busy wedding, like you are exhausted, and then you are going to hop on a plane and take like a 36-hour flight to the Maldives or somewhere which are fabulous and amazing for relaxing. But I think you just have to be realistic about like what your tolerance is for travel. And if you're wanting to do somewhere like Bora Bora, Maldives, or even Hawaii, like let's maybe push it back a little bit after the wedding so you have time to recoup.
Right. Give yourself a minute.
Speaking of our favorite place on earth. So I've had a few people say I've been to Guana Island because of you three. And I need to know where the next Guana Island is. Like what else is similar, has kind of a similar, specialness.
So there are a few private islands or private island adjacent places in the Caribbean that have like kind of a similar like low-key vibe. They're not, I think Guana is pretty unique, honestly. There's Cayo Espanto in Belize. It's tiny, like tiny. They're like 13 rooms, I think.
Wow.
The beaches aren't great. Like you aren't going to have those amazing white sand beaches, but they are waiting on you hand and foot there. It is also all-inclusive rates. It's a very special experience, and we can plan like off-site boat trips and things like that if you're wanting to get in the water. Como Parrot Key in Turks and Caicos, it is off the main island, so you take like a 20-minute boat ride. It has a similar vibe in the fact that it's like old school Caribbean. The beaches like honestly look like you're in the Maldives. If it's in budget, they have these incredible like 1-bedroom like beach cottages with a private pool like right on the water. The food is great there. They have an incredible spa, but it has like a similar laid back, like you're not looking to be out and about the whole time. Like that's another great option. And then there's a few more, but honestly, Guana is pretty hard to compare to.
Yeah. There is no comparison, honestly.
You're like, there's another place that's similar, except it doesn't have the white sand beach, which is like the best, one of the best parts about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Como Parrot Key is great.
What's the price though for the Como Parrot Key? If I'm saying it
so
correctly.
It's not all inclusive.
Okay.
So that's like one big thing. Clients do get daily breakfast for 2, and they'll get $100 resort credit. Usually it's pricing starting around $1,000 a night for the basic rooms. And then it can get pretty high, like
pricey.
And go up from there.
Yeah, it can really go up from there, like into $20,000 a night during high season for the multi-bedroom places on the water.
So just an FYI, people, Guana Island is $1,000 a night for the starting rooms, and it is during off season. High season, it's like $1,750, but those shoulder months that we talked about in the Caribbean, it's like $1,000 a night, and it's all inclusive for 2 people, including alcoholic beverages. It honestly, it's like a $500 a night hotel if you factor in everything that they give you,
100%.
and it feels so premium, so nice, so special. Everyone needs to go to Guana Island before they die.
My husband's like, will you guys stop talking about Guana Island? Because we are not going to be able to afford it or find availability anymore.
Well, it's funny. She told me it like I picked up, and I'm like, oh gosh, what have I done to my favorite place?
Like no one in Smart Flyer even talked about Guana Island.
Wow.
That is crazy. And you're how I found out about it because of your Instagram. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obsessed, obviously.
Don't go to Guana Island, people. Please leave it for us.
Okay, I know we've been talking a lot about Europe and the Caribbean. I want to hear about some of your US destinations that you like that are like filtering for Lauren and I. You know, we like relaxation, we like beautiful places, we like luxury experiences. Anywhere in the US that you like love? Yeah,
honestly, the US has a lot of really great options. Like you guys went to Blackberry Farm. Obviously, like Blackberry Farm, Blackberry Mountain are great options, but they're not the only options. The Northeast has a ton of great spots, especially if you're looking just for like a low-key vibe in the summer where there's going to be great food. Like there are places in Maine, White Barn Inn, it's an auberge property. Hidden Pond in Maine it's not on the water, but they have water access, and it's kind of like adult summer camp vibes. It's also great for families. Miami has some great spots, and it's so easy to get to. Miami, it really depends on like what vibe you're wanting, like where we're going to put you, obviously. But like Four Seasons Surfside, Aquilina, Faena, like those are all places that are a little bit more laid back. California has some great options, like the Rosewood in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Maybe you might see like Meghan and Harry there too. You never know.
Kourtney Kardashian is always there.
I saw Woody Harrelson when I was there, and I was like, he's like the tiniest man of all time.
Really?
Like tiny.
Interesting.
Shocking.
Like I felt like I could like throw him over the balcony as he was walking by me.
I know. To me, he seems Ronnie, but wow. I have a question following up that. Why should somebody, if they want to plan a group trip, book with you? Or like, what could you offer if you want to take a girl trip? Or like, I guess where people might think, oh, I'm going to go look for an Airbnb, but Airbnbs are also like a total gamble. Like, what could you offer them, I suppose?
So we do book houses and villas. We don't book through Airbnb or VRBO because they don't vet properties. And so it's just not really a risk I'm willing to take. And we do get a fair amount of clients who have booked an Airbnb, been burned, and then they're like, we're not going to do that again.
Almost every single Airbnb has burned me in some way, in varying burn degrees, I should say.
So we do villa and home rentals. It's a little tougher in the US. Like the market isn't as great and there aren't as many brokers that we work with, but we can still, depending on the location, find them for you. There are also hotels that can accommodate like shared rooms or multi-bedroom suites that some more affordable than others, but we definitely can help kind of narrow things down for you and kind of guide the group in a certain direction. And sometimes like the budget doesn't always work. Like some of our really good clients will reach out and we can't necessarily find a great fit for them because like the budget of the group overall, but we definitely can try and we can kind of help narrow options down.
Yeah, no, that's so helpful and amazing to know, frankly, like for myself, because it's so hard when you're trying to book a group trip, like even booking a hotel with adjoining rooms, like the idea of calling a hotel and trying to sort that all out and making sure that it's nice and that it's going to be what you expect just sounds like the biggest headache. It's already stressful enough planning travel for yourself and your partner or just your immediate family, but when you're booking it for friends, it's a whole other nightmare. So
group trips
everyone start with Alexandra.
And in Europe, we have great villa and home rental options.
Amazing.
In the summer, usually they rent Saturday to Saturday. So that's something to keep in mind.
The other question we got was like when to book with Alexandra. Like, does it need to be this 2-week trip that's complex, or can it be a 3-nighter? I know the answer to this, but Alexandra, what would you say?
Yeah, we do lots of short trips. Like people say, hey, can you book us at this hotel in LA? They're staying there for 2 nights. We can do it. The main thing is we book 4- and 5-star hotels.
Yeah.
So that's where our relationships are. Most of the time, the range is going to be like $600 to $1,000 a night starting out. But there are exceptions to that.
$600 to $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. $600 to $1,000 a night.
$6,000 to $1,000 a night.
But yeah, we can do one-nighters for clients. We do short trips and we can do more elaborate trips. But the idea is we work with clients for most of their bookings. So we get a feel for what they want. And if you do come to us and say, hey, we want to stay here, and I know you, and I know you're going to hate that, I can tell you that, and we can find a better fit.
No, it's so crucial to book through Alexandra. And also I will say, you can also book through her website. So like for the one night we went to Dorado Ritz, I didn't talk to you about it, but I just went to your website. I went through the link and I booked it myself. So I got all the perks, I got the $100 credit. I got all of that, but I was like, I don't want to bug Alexandra for this one night booking. So I'm just going to do it myself. It doesn't take very long at all. So that's another pro tip. If you're like, I don't think I need the advice, but I want the perks, I don't want to have to email someone, you can just do it through Alexandra's website. And you get it all.
That's a great tool. You can't book all hotels through there. So if there is something you don't see, or Four Seasons doesn't allow you to book through there, just reach out. If you put in the subject line, either from our website or email, just put like booking request. And so we know to flag it.
And just like do it and just send the CC authorization.
Yep.
Amazing. Okay, Alexandra, thank you so much, truly, for coming on, sharing your expertise. Where can people find you?
You can check out my website, alexandrastockton.com. I'm also on Instagram at Alexandra H. Stockton or Alexandra Stockton Travel.
We're going to have all of that in the show notes for people. Thank you so much, Alexandra. And love you, listeners. We will see you on Friday for Patreon. Bye.
Bye.
That's all for now, folks. Don't forget, give us a 5-star review, hit us up on Instagram at Popapologists, and we will see you next week, live every Wednesday.